Times they are a-changin', and our freedom is disappearing. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, January the 16th, 2022, and it's ugly out there. Our freedoms are being destroyed, destructed, and stolen from us with every piece of crap event that goes on. The administration is dead set on busting America so that they can get into the universal basic income, the socialism agenda. You can tell simply by looking at the price of oil, okay, when we have a perfectly good solution to the inflationary problems. You've got an imbeciles running the Federal Reserve, okay? As I've said many times before, you go to the Federal Reserve as a smart person, you enter as a moron, and you end up a moron for life, then going to places where you can get paid huge dollars because you were the Fed chair. It is pathetic. This rate hikes that may or may not show up in March are probably 5 to 6 years late. But again, this is the problem you have when you can continue to build debt and more debt and more debt. In the meantime, this first part of our Bubba's Bottom Line is brought to you by our friends and partners at Strategic Wealth Preservation, which is where I do all my physical metal shopping, whether I'm going to store it or take delivery on it. They are a terrific organization. Check them out at swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading. That's Sierra Whiskey Papa, Charlie Alpha Yankee, Michael Alpha November.com/Bubba-trading. So as I said, I mean, the vaccination deal, now again, I don't know what the right answer is, but I do know that General Electric just pushed back. The Supreme Court of the United States just pushed back, and Nike doubled down. Okay? So you can already see that the vaccine is not about the pandemic. It is not about the virus. It's about politics. And quite frankly, our political system is broken down, okay? Our political system, first of all, okay, when you can only get a candidate that are in their mid-70s, okay, and that goes for the last guy too. I like the last guy, but that goes for the last guy too. When you can only get a candidate in his late 70s, because, of course, who would want to take the abuse that is associated because of the imbeciles in the media that don't get it and don't understand how economies, how markets, how everything functions, and I think that's a problem. Okay, but we will move on from there. But of course, you now, if you haven't seen, but they had Iran, okay, one of our good friends, along with Putin, okay, who sense weakness and are sniffing it, promoted a video depicting the assassination of President Trump. Now, I have to ask you this question, okay, whether you're a Trump lover or a Trump hater, okay? Why are we still talking about President Trump a year and out of his administration, 16 months since he lost the election, but yet he's still in the headlines every day, okay? So obviously, the political system, both the Republicans and the Democrats, are glad that he is gone and are afraid that he's going to win his way back in. Okay, that is what that says to me. Okay, the problems that you're seeing are because they like the free money train. They like the lobbyists paying them off. Okay, they like the no term limits. Everything that is bad for America, they love. Okay. Now, you can make a case if you want, but I can't see, I don't know one politician, again, I don't know them all, but I've never seen one that I could say truly had my best interest or your best interest at heart. Okay. But, you know, it's interesting as we travel around the globe here for a minute. In Australia, there are more Australians that are hospitalized with vaccinations than without. Again, I'm not against the vaccination. I don't know. Personally, I've been stuck 3 times. Pfizer 1, Pfizer 2, and the booster. Okay. I'm happy to have had it. Okay. But I don't know if it's right or wrong. Okay. I don't know if forcing Americans, because we're supposed to be free, to get a vaccination is right or wrong. Using a vax card to have to go places, I think that's going to be a tragedy. But again, all of this is leading up to another revolutionary war, okay, or a total divide in the country and a possibly split out into 2 countries, okay? It's interesting, as we've talked about many times before, the highest tax states are always broke. Why is that? Okay. Why is it the no tax states are flourishing? Okay. And of course, I know why, because I just saw my daughter just got a promotion. I saw her check, and her California taxes were laughable. Okay. Like stealing. But hey, what do we care? Okay. But this crime, the defund the police is getting very nerve wracking. Okay. Because now you've got looters going on to Union Pacific trains and, stealing Amazon packages. Okay. And this, of course, is in Los Angeles, because as long as it's under $1,000, they can't arrest you, can't charge you. Okay. And Chicago, isn't that stupid? What happened to true law and order in this country? Okay? What happened to us being a society all for one and one for all? And I know there's issues out there, but whatever happened to that? Okay. What happened to the soldiers, or the ones that couldn't get into World War II, that were crying that they couldn't serve their country, to now screw the country? Okay. What happened over all those years? Okay. And, the supply chain with the inflation. Now, it's funny. I went grocery shopping this morning. I had to go to my store, La Bonita, and get my ice cream bars, or actually fruit bars. But there they are, and the shelves are empty. Okay. The shelves are empty. I had to go to Walmart. The shelves were empty. So the supply chain, how are we going to supply? So retail sales were down on Friday. They came out. Should you be surprised that they're down? You don't have any product to sell. Okay. I have some regular shipments that I get from Amazon. They can't deliver. It's now 3 months. They can't deliver. I get a monthly note. Sorry, we're delaying your shipment. So I just said, hell, what did I cancel it? But again, what is the problem here? Okay, here's Amazon. Now, they're pretty powerful. Producer price indexes and consumer price index, the CPI and PPI, which are inflation indicators. Producer price came in at 9.7. Okay, the most in history. Okay, and I guarantee you that isn't right. You can multiply that by 3, just like you can multiply the stupid bullshit CPI number by 3, because inflation is at least 20%. Okay. Of course, if you exclude food and energy, which are your 2 biggest expenses, then of course it's 20%. It's 7%. But how many of you go out and buy a new refrigerator every week, or a new computer? Okay, which is what it's based on, big ticket items. Okay, when the stuff that you use every day, the consumable items that you have to use every day and go to the grocery store for, are getting your eyes sucked out. Okay, and you're going to come down to a decision of the quality of food you're going to be able to eat. Okay, and we are fortunate that it has been a mild winter. Because if it was a cold winter, can you imagine? I saw my heating bill, and it's been a mild winter. I could imagine it was higher than any bill I've seen since it was 0 degrees in Chicago for 10 days in a row. Okay. And this has been mild and warmish, and I had a bill the biggest I've had since then. Okay. So look, the political arena, the political atmosphere around the globe is total bullshit. It is collapsing and colluding. And if you don't think these governments are not colluding, the allies and the central banks, you better think again. The British government just went to fear tactics, okay, or propagandic fear tactics to get people to get vaccinated, okay. Germany is considering shutting down again, okay. Now, again, I don't think the first shutdown should have happened. I think that was a total crock. because, again, I think that you should have the choice if you want to go out or not. Okay. But of course, that does not meet the agenda, okay, of this administration. Now, this is directly to this administration because they are the ones that created the stimulus. They are the ones that created this massive amount of debt, the breakdown in the supply chain, the higher taxes, the higher energy. We have one of the dumbest energy policies in history. Okay. And I don't care if you want a green environment or not. We are already the greenest country in the world. Okay. We are never going to get the mass population to become green. Yet we're paying $4, $5, $6 a gallon for gasoline when we should be paying under $2, under $3, depending on where you live. Okay. And of course, don't forget that when the taxes come into play, for example, Chicago, Cook County, okay, their taxes are so high on a gallon of gasoline. So if gas goes up, the taxes automatically go up. It's like the national debt, right? 30 trillion, whatever it is. Look, that number is meaningless just because as the number gets bigger, it's easier to multiply to make it look bigger. This is the problem with the pundits that you listen to. If you're watching that crap on TV, okay, either the Kramers and the CNBCs and the Foxes, all the people, remember, every one of those people has an agenda, okay, to either get you to invest with them or spend money with them, okay, including the networks because they want advertisers, okay. But when you think about it, okay, it's all garbage because it is illogical. And certainly, if we were back into oil production, okay, now, I'm not saying go full bore out, but if we were producing our own oil and exporting, not only could we be paying off the debt, but we wouldn't be under so much stress with a broken down supply chain because you wouldn't have all these companies going out of business. But of course, this goes back to the agenda of this administration, okay, that they put the small business out of business on purpose. This is not by accident. This is a plan, okay, because this is a plan to eliminate any competition. It's already bad enough that in the United States of America, we only have 2 political parties. Okay. If you're a libertarian, you get no chance. You can't even get on the ballots. Okay. So if you're center, okay, and you would like to have a center candidate, you can't, there's nothing to vote for because you're never going to win because they're not even recognized. It goes back to the same, Coke advertises for Pepsi, Pepsi advertises for Coke. Okay. And screw RC and anybody else. Shasta. Remember Shasta? So this is what they do. Okay. But now the party in power today wants to have only one party. Okay. And fortunately, the election is right around the corner. I mean, 10 months sounds like a long time. It'll be here before you know it. And you're already seeing, okay, there's talk that either Nancy Pelosi is going to retire or she's going to have somebody running against her for the first time in 30 years. Okay. Now, again, you're seeing a lot of dissent, which is only going to create more problems, more issues, and more anger among the citizens of the United States of America. Because, not everybody is happy with all the free, because free, as we know, is not free. Okay. Let's remember that free is not free. Okay, free is the middle class and the wealthy pay for the poor. Okay, but more the middle class because of the tax code is a piece of crap. Okay, but let's focus on putting small business out of business so that they can't survive, just like you're seeing right now in the marijuana industry. Okay, the marijuana industry, whether you do or don't, I don't, but I did, 50 years ago. But whether you do or you don't, you agree or you don't agree, it is going to get used. Okay. So why shouldn't it be federally legalized so that it can be taxed? Okay. So that they can relieve some of the tax burden from U.S. citizens and pay off the debt. So we get oil and weed. Okay. And gambling. Okay. Now, if these guys would just wake up and smell the coffee, we would have a clean, full-flowing economy. But that's not the agenda. Again, you have to ask yourself why. Now, of course, in the pot market, okay, they want these small guys to burn out, okay? and be out of business so that Altria and Constellation Brands can swoop in and make all the money, because that's who pays the political contributions that keeps these imbeciles in office. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. It's always great to be with you. It is Sunday, January 16th, and we got some football today too, and football yesterday. Oh my goodness gracious, what a time. Unfortunately, it's getting sad because the dark month is coming, February. But in the meantime, this show is brought to you by our friends and brokerage partners at Capital Trading Group. Remember, I have many brokers, but my preference for futures and commodities is the Capital Trading Group, and very simple reasons. They have the best customer service I've ever seen. And the futures industry, by far the best. They answer the phone, no voicemail. Okay. They do all of our letter direction trading. They're the only one I've been able to authorize. They watch out for my members like I do. Okay. They've got great products of their own, and they trade all my accounts. Okay. So if that doesn't tell you, I mean, they have all my money. All right. In the meantime, check them out. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, for equities and options, the other best. Okay. Now I got accounts everywhere. Okay. And I've been doing this for 44 years, but this is by far the best operation that answers the phone as well. Okay. That gives you great customer service, and it's tradier brokerage. Plus the fact you're paying $10 a month. You would have to go see a doctor if you don't want to pay $10 a month and pay $1,000 instead. That's kind of dumb if you ask me. But in the meantime, we've got their APIs, which allows us to auto trade our equity portfolios for you at no charge, and Trader doesn't charge. Hedging members have to pay for a licensing fee because hedging is just a class. But at the end of the day, it sure is nice to have the trades done automatically, especially when we get some of these volatile times that we're seeing right now. But check them out. Try.tradier.com/Bubba. That's try.tradier.com/Bubba. And of course, Family Farms Group. Look, farmers, I wish they had one for me. But if you don't want to deal with the minutia of a business, you want to farm, you want to make the money part, and you want someone to help you take care of the human resources part and the rest, check them out. FamilyFarmsGroup.com/Bubba-Trading. That is FamilyFarmsGroup.com/Bubba-Trading. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, Patreon.com/Bubba-Trading. That is Patreon.com/Bubba-Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, your host, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Welcome back. This is Todd Bubba Horwitz. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, and it is Sunday, January the 16th. And of course, we always give you our market update, our summary on what happened and what we expect. And actually, we disclose our positions as they are at the moment. Okay. Every day during my update, I disclose to you exactly what our position is, so you know if we're doing good or bad. Okay. And again, I'm not looking to hide from anybody. I want everybody to understand the markets, how they work, so that they are in position to benefit even after losses, because we all know that drawdowns come. I don't care who you are. There's always going to be drawdowns in this business. Okay. It's not the drawdown. It's how you handle the drawdown and how you come back from it when it's over. In the meantime, as we look at the equity markets, they had a pretty mixed week last week. Our position is mixed. We're short the Russell. We're short the NASDAQ. We're long the Dow. We're long the S&P. So just based on that position by itself, that is a more conservative position on its own merit. But not directly, that's just the way the algorithms trade. But for the week, the Dow was down a little bit. The S&P was flattish to down. The NASDAQ was higher, and the Russell was down. Okay. But there was nothing dramatic because of the late rally at the end of the week. Okay. And it was really a fairly quiet, choppy week anyways. Why? I don't know. Okay. I guess maybe tomorrow, tomorrow markets are closed tomorrow, Monday, for MLK Day, Martin Luther King. So, we'll see. But in the meantime, those are our positions. And of course, in the metals, they're still doing nothing. Okay. They just did enough to have us reverse from short to long. We're now long gold and silver, and would be long platinum if we traded it. Now, again, I do buy physicals from Strategic Wealth all the time. Okay. And there's a difference between trading paper and owning physical. Okay. One has nothing to do with the other. But in the meantime, listen, it looks awful. They've been in such tight range for the last 12 to 13, 14 months. They're going to make a huge move. Now, they can go either way, but they're going to make a big move here. I would not be surprised to see gold having $1,000 range this year. Okay. Again, either way, it could go both. So we'll see. We'll check them out. But in the meantime, we are long across the board. Crude oil, $84 a barrel. No big deal. It's going to 100, maybe higher. It may go to the all-time highs. With these idiots that are running the energy policy, it may go to all-time highs here. Who knows? I mean, we've said it all along. Every week, it's going higher. We're long. Nat gas was up last week. We're still short. I was a little concerned. I thought that it would reverse. It did not as of yet, but we're still making a ton of money on the nat gas. But again, it's getting to a point. It looked like I did kind of put in the bottom, but again, we're still short for now. Copper, a slightly higher week, but we're pretty much flat, right? Very volatile week, but pretty much flat, and we're still long. The bonds and notes had a little bit of a bounce, a minuscule bounce. We're short both bonds and notes. Okay. I mean, interest rates are going higher. I don't care what they say. They're going higher. Okay. And bonds and notes are probably going much lower. Okay. But we'll see. Again, we'll see. We don't predict anything. Lumber, which we don't trade because it's a liquid. It's a piece of crap. But it is something that does help, understand what the economy and the inflation model look like. And lumber is soaring once again and is now over 1,300. Once again, sickening. Okay. It is absolutely sickening and disgusting, but that's where it is. Okay. In the meantime, in the grain markets, we are now short corn, which doesn't thrill me. Corn was really pretty much flat. Again, I only follow the algorithm, so the corn was pretty much flat. Okay. And I'd rather be long it than short it here because it's going to break out one way or the other, but I think it's breaking back up again. But we'll see. I don't fight. I just follow the algorithms. Soybeans are still higher, but they were lower last week. The end of last week was kind of ugly in the grain markets in general. And wheat is just ugly right now. And again, remember, wheat led them up. Wheat maybe lead them down, or, don't forget, there's a lot going on in Ukraine, and there's some bombing probably going to go on. There's going to be some war in Ukraine, and wheat, being the political commodity it is, could cause some problems. In the meats, we are short cattle and hogs and long feeder cattle. They're all pretty much flat. Everything's kind of trading in this range across back and forth. And, hogs hit some support and then they pop 2 days in a row. Okay. Cattle and feeders are just kind of, very quiet. But again, I think the big problem here is what is going to happen with the inflation, the supply chain, because those are some of the problems that the meat are having trouble with. Bitcoin, Bitcoin looks like it did find a bottom. Now we'll see 40,000 the bottom, but it did have an up week and we're still shorted. But we've been short for a while, but it's been pretty wild. But I think it may have finally found that base or that bottom. Okay. And as we look into the world of the softs, cotton had a big up week and is now approaching highs again. We are still long. Coffee had a big up week as well. We're still short. Okay. It's right at the end up at the edge of resistance. Sugar, had a slight bounce, but it's been way down and we're still short. Cocoa exploded higher, which we are long. And OJ, which again, it's a little thinner, but it was up big. It's like 160. It's really flying. And of course, we're still long OJ as well. So again, we'll see. Remember, the markets are closed tomorrow, Monday. Okay. And we have no new trades. So because the markets will be open electronically tonight at 6 Eastern until tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern. Okay. But that's only electronically. Okay. So just remember that there is no trading, but we have no trades anyways. But of course, our positions will get marked not till Tuesday because of the holiday, but they'll be trading tomorrow. And if they're going against you, you'll be losing money. Okay. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with, of course, my commentary and my football. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. And of course, every week I give you a little bit of my commentary. Okay. And, I'm really getting tired of the racism card. Okay. Now, I've got a lot of experience in this area, being a Jewish guy that was hated in a neighborhood. Okay. Being involved in busing when I was a kid okay, from being involved with immigrants. Okay, in fact, part of my family was immigrants. Okay, legal, but again, and I think that we stoke the embers. Okay, now let's be honest. Some people are always going to be racist. Okay, and that won't weed out until the breeders of the racist are gone. Okay, but the racism in this country has gotten better. Okay, we are getting better and at trying to be more of equality. And of course, with tomorrow being Martin Luther King Day. But I think that when you have, for example, a president who was one of the biggest racists, okay, and is voted that way. This is not me assuming. Go look back at his votes. I was surprised that Kamala Harris took the nomination based on the way she grilled him on racism when they debated. Okay, but I believe that they are trying to create more of the racism to split up the nation, split up the country, so that they can conquer it. Okay, and separate us. And I think that's where the problems come in. I think this is more promoted by the politicians, okay, on both sides, both colors, all creeds, okay, because the politicians have an agenda and they're willing to create hatred. If you listen to any of them speak, including Biden, okay, but I will go back to Obama. And in my opinion, Obama set race relations back 100 years, okay? So he might have been an African-American, okay, or a person of color. I'm not sure what is politically correct, but he set back race relations 100 years himself. And his cohort, vice president, is doing a great job. And it's funny because the other night I was at a tavern talking to many different cultures and asking the question. I said, and why? And everybody said, I don't know. We can get along just fine. Okay. Again, look, there's going to be some issues. It's like everything else. There's always going to be the few. But should the few control the masses? Okay. Or should we work on the few? That's the question of the week. Okay. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horwitz. And now for my big football selections for the week. It's a tough card. Okay. But look, I would take Tampa, which I'm not going to do yet right at the moment. Okay. But I would take Tampa if I were going to play the game against Philadelphia. I don't like the game, but I'm not taking Philadelphia under any circumstances. Okay. I do like the Dallas Cowboys quite a bit. I think they're a very solid play at a -3. And I do like the Chiefs, laying 12.5. Big Ben's final game. I think that Big Ben's going to go out in a bang, and I think they're going to get their clocks cleaned. Okay, and I like them. And of course, there is no update tomorrow. So tomorrow night's game, which is the Monday night game, the Rams against the Cardinals. Tough game. I mean, look, I guess maybe I'm soft at heart for Matthew Stafford. I'm hoping that he can win a big game like Kirby Smart did last Monday. Stafford from Georgia, the University of Georgia. Kirby Smart finally beat Nick Saban. Maybe Matt Stafford can finally get that monkey off his back and win a playoff game. In the meantime, have a great day off tomorrow if you're off. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Okay, and remember, he did have a dream, and his dream was correct. Okay, and it should be that we are all created equal. Okay, and we have to do our best to strive for it and not let the idiots try to separate us so they can conquer. Have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I thank you. Good luck, enjoy, and if you're off tomorrow, have a great day off, and we'll see you back on Tuesday with, of course, a Bubba's Daily Update. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.